Hej og velkommen til. Så er vi kommet til nummer 4 af finalisterne til årets i-pris her 2024. Og i dag er det Bhushan, jeg har her med her ved siden af mig. Og Bhushan, han er ikke alene, for vi har faktisk hans makker med fra København. So I'll be happy to say welcome to you as well, Torben.
Tak. Thank you.
Thank you for coming as well. So the focus will be mostly maybe on you, but also of course on Torben. So what do you guys prefer? Do you want me to have him in the background all the time? I mean, he looks good.
Yeah,
exactly. He looks sharp. So okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So Bhushan.
Yes.
What motivates you to work with this idea every day?
Well, I have to be honest, this is the only thing that I am good at. This is what I think. But if I have to tell you in detail everything, this is the technology that I have invested 13-14 years in. I started my journey back in 2011, and at that time this technology was not that mature, and even though it had the potential, and then we figure out that okay, we have to change the direction a little bit, and that's where we realize that okay, it has actually amazing potential. And that's when that feeling, right, when you invest 10-15 years into something and then you see amazing potential of getting rid of the batteries, for example, that is a completely different feeling. And that's what the thing that you can bring out from the thing that you had kept on developing, and then suddenly you see it, and then you just take it out, and that's the greatest motivation, actually.
So, and just recently, Torben has joined your company.
Yes.
So, Torben, what motivated you to be part of Bhushan's Unplugged?
Basically, I've been working with batteries for 25 years, and focus has always been to make it more green, actually, in the market, and try to find a solution which is more sustainable. I then saw Bhushan's post at some point here a year ago, and where actually the statement was to replace batteries in the market as a whole, which I thought was an excellent idea, even though it's my bread and butter also for 20 years, but it's still something that really does the difference in the market, and I really wanted to be a part of this. So actually, I really think it's a great potential and idea, and now when I learned Bhushan and I joined it, it's amazing what we can do with this.
Yeah. And he's an amazing person. I know that from the process we have here, that he's really willing and working hard to get it done. I'll just take you shortly off the screen because I want to talk to Bhushan. One fun fact about Bhushan is that he is actually not on. He's not a big fan of social media.
Yes.
That's correct. Basically, you've just started your LinkedIn profile recently.
Yes.
So we can learn a lot from Bhushan. So if you should tell a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Yes. So I come from a small town in India. Well, it's a small town, but we have almost 500,000 population. And I grew up there. I did my schooling in a language called Gujarati that not many people know. So when I grew up, I couldn't even speak English, and unlike how we do it in Denmark. So it was a kind of a challenge. But then after schooling, I ended up going to another city. So I moved out of my house, which is very unusual in India at the age of 14, 15. And since then, I have been living away from my mother, basically. Mm-hmm. And I did my engineering then later on in Mumbai. I was actually a good student, but then I was student as well at the same time. So yeah, and then I finished my graduation in 2010 in Mumbai. And 2011 was the year when I came to Germany to do my master's. 2011 to 14, and during that time I got introduced to this organic solar cell technology. And it fascinated me so much that I already had worked on the technology during my master's for over 2 years. And then Professor Morten Madsen at SDU, Sønderborg, he had an open position. And then I reached out to him, I applied for the job, and that's when I ended up coming here in Sønderborg in 2014. And I did my PhD under him. Amazing guy. I mean, more than a supervisor and a student relationship, we were more or less like a friend. So I love Denmark because Denmark is the only country where I have lived most outside of my home country as well. Danes gave me so much love in a way that I feel a little bit spoiled as well. But that's why my journey took off. And I finished my PhD. I was a postdoc for roughly around 2 years. And then I made a switch to industry. I joined a startup in Sweden that didn't last long because of the COVID crisis. And then I ended up in the UK to continue my postdoc further. I was there for 2.5 years. And then we had a possibility of the Spin-Outs Denmark company possibility as well. So I pitched my idea. I got that grant. And here I am, back since 2023 again. So it's been roughly around 2 years now that I'm here. And I'm full-time working on this spin-out idea now.
Super. Yeah. Thank you for your insights. It's always nice to get a little bit to know more about what's going on. I'm just switching here. My technician. Okay, now my technician is. Okay. Just a moment. So good. Now it's gone. So, and Morten, we already talked a little bit to you. So, Bhushan, who or what inspires you as an entrepreneur?
That's a very good question. I think there are, of course, people like entrepreneurs, successful ones, but they are only one. You cannot be another Steve Jobs, or you cannot be another Elon Musk or anything. I think it's the belief that I would say that initially I also mentioned that I have worked on this technology for 13, 14 years. And that I'm for a reason why I'm working on this technology, because it fascinates me, right? And now I see the real world solution about this technology. So it's not only that we are developing research, but that it has no potential to go out. When I see the potential, I think Torben also agrees with me, like what he explained before. This potential and the impact it can have on the humanity in the world, that is the thing that does motivate us.
Super. Yeah. How does a typical day look for you when you're working with your business concept, your idea?
I'm still new in this game of being an entrepreneur, because I am a hardcore researcher in the first place. And researchers are always skeptical, and they have their own unique way of working on the things, right? So if you join me for one day, your first thing you will notice is it's a total mess. It's chaotic. But I'm still learning about this. But then most of the times I'm either in the meetings now, I'm learning the business, how to run the things and everything. And I think in the last 2 years, I have improved massively. Because to give you an example, researchers normally talk in a technical language. And normal people who do not have a research or technical background, when they come and they talk to us, it's very hard for them to figure out, like, what are you talking about, right? And this is something that was the first challenge about this entire entrepreneurship journey, that I had to learn a language where I can also communicate to even non-technical as well as kids, for example. This is what I'm learning, and I think I have done a good job learning that thing, and I'm still learning. But
Well, I can definitely agree with that. If I look at your presentations like a year ago, and what you just showed me upstairs, the presentation for the finals, it's so much improved and makes your idea so much more clearly. So you've gone to talk engineers' language to general human language.
Yes, and I think it also the credit goes to people like everybody who is around you, Enis, Torben as well. Like there are so many people, and also we have some supporting staff from STU. They have been constantly giving me the feedback, right? And that's what makes us learn. And yeah, to answer your question again, apart from learning all these things, I'm mostly in the lab as well because we are hardware makers. So yeah, apart from it, I'm mostly in the labs as well. Yeah.
Yes. Super. So, have you always dreamed of becoming an entrepreneur, or what led you on this path?
I think in a way, yes, but it was not about, because when I was growing up, entrepreneurship was not even like, when you hear the things about Steve Jobs or something, you always imagine them as special people. They come from some other planet or something like that. But there was always something inside me where I was always thinking outside of what was conventional. And I loved doing some weird things as well. Like if something is made this way, I used to make something else completely. Like what if you add this one in that or something? So I think more than entrepreneurship, I was more into product development at that time. And then I realized that, okay, people who become big entrepreneurs or something, they are also not very special. And then you started relating, and then the social media and internet and everything, the more you learn, the more you relate yourself with them. And then you realize, okay, they are not special. They are just people like you. And that's where I had it. Like, okay, why not? I know how to develop a product. Why not to sell it as well?
So, and now to you, Torben. You have a huge experience in entrepreneurship, and so what kind of motivates you to go out and help people like Bhushan, for instance?
Well, basically, my entry angle to this is more the commercial side, and I think that's why Bhushan and I actually fits quite well together, because he's very technical orientated, and to be frank, also with the batteries that I've been working with for many years, technical is not my deep side, and knowledge. So it's more to get the commercial angle in it, and I think I can. I mean, that inspires me to speak to people that has. Whoa, there's something in there.
Yeah, but it's, well, this is, oops, Estonian? No, I don't think so. Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, no worries. So it inspires me to speak to people like Bhushan and work with people who have this technical mind, and also, I mean, it's very open minded to thinking, and I think that is why we match quite good, to have those different sides, and accept that one is more commercial and the other one is more technical, and that fits quite well together. And we don't run the same path, we run two different paths, and that's why the motivation with this project is really good.
And I would like to add that since Torben has joined, we have now a balance in the team as well, right? Because even though I'm learning all about this business and everything as well, but then I am still from technical side. Him coming from the commercial background and the amazing experience in the battery business, we just entirely balance out the team now. Yeah,
perfect. So, how do you handle adversity or challenges in your life when you have some bad experiences? So,
Yes.
for instance,
Yes.
how do you cope or handle with them? What's your golden idea to handle stuff like that?
This is also something that I'm learning at the moment, because I'm quite new to all these things. There are certain challenges that I had never seen in my life before. So they are, of course, challenging. That's why they are challenges. But initially, I used to always prepare some kind of a response to it. Like if somebody says something to me that I don't like, for example, I go home and I think about it and I prepare myself to respond it in the next way, in a balanced way. But then I think sometimes saying nothing or just not reacting to any kind of a challenge is actually best way to deal with them. And this is the thing that I started learning as well. And yeah, I hope I will be better. Maybe after 4 or 5 years, you will ask me this question, I will answer you something completely different. So
Yes. So what advice would you give your younger self
yeah.
if you had the chance of saying, to give a good advice to your younger self?
Yes. So many things, but
Could we limit to one?
yes. If I have to say one thing is, don't take anything personally. Mistakes are necessary in life to be experienced. If you don't have experience, you will not be going anywhere except your comfort zone. So if you want to move out of your comfort zone, make a mistake, own them, don't take them personally, don't be self-critical to the point where you just harm yourself. And whatever is happening, it has a reason. In future, universe has made a plan for you. I wish when I was growing up as a teenager, but then again, I didn't have any experience. Now I have experiences because all the mess, all the mistakes and everything that I did. That is what I will say, and I will just say that calm down, everything is going to be fine.
Sounds nice. So Torben, without being rude, I could say you're slight older than
Well,
Bhushan. So what advice would you
I
give
would
your
actually
younger
give
self?
the advice that you should listen to people around you. I mean, build up a. You might have an idea, you might have a direction, but it's very important to share these things and not be too narrow-minded and only following your own direction in your strategy and open to. I mean, it's so important to have an advisory board of friends or coaches or whatever, or people to share it with, and actually stress test the idea or the concept as such with as many people as you can, because you will also, every time you explain your idea, you will get your own view again on it. So I mean, it would not help much to hold back your idea, to protect it and say, I'll go this way and then I will launch it for everyone else. I mean, to stress test it on the way, that is something that I really have learned will eliminate many later mistakes. So basically just tell it to everyone and let them hear everything about it, and by that build up some people which you actually talk to these ideas about, that have different knowledges, some with strategy, some with pricing, some with technology, and some with legal sets and stuff like that. It's good to have that team and to share everything openly with that. So be open around it, and don't follow. I mean, you have 2 years and once advice. So maybe listen more than you say yourself in 1 month.
Thank you for sharing, both of you.
Can I add something
Yeah,
on this?
of course you can.
I think to summarize what he says, I completely agree with him as well, because it's okay to not know everything. I'm working on this technology for 14, 15 years. I still don't know 80% of the things. I know only certain thing, and then I am just making it better and better, right? The day you start taking yourself seriously and you think that you know everything and you can handle everything, that's the day the downfall starts. And as I said, as Torben said, listen to everybody, because suggestions and feedback will what make you learn more and keep you grounded as well.
Thank you. So what quality or value do you see as your greatest strength as an entrepreneur?
I think I am creative in a way, and of course persistence is there. If I have a tendency that when I believe in something, I don't jump into the things that I don't know. I put my hand into something only when I know about it. Let it be any kind of a discussion, any kind of a technology or anything. If I don't know it, I will not even say a word about it. Like, for example, when Torben talks about sales and how it should be and everything, I don't interfere into his things, because this is not what I do, right? And similarly, when I talk about the technical things and everything, Torben doesn't tell me which material you have to use and you do this or you do that and you that. So that is what I prefer, and I think that is how I like to be as well. And another thing is that's what makes me believe in the things. When I know something, I at least know more than 50% about those things. And yeah, that is what is important.
So, and to put Torben a little bit on his spot, what do you think Bhushan's
definitely technical mind
greatest
and
strength is?
deep insight in this technology of solar panel as such, but also, and that's the project, of course. But also, I really think that Bhushan is open-minded, which is something which for me is very important, because I mean, we can tell each other what we mean, and we listen. And that is a good start of a communication, even though we don't agree on things, and Bhushan has different angles on it. And you say you don't speak commercial, Bhushan, but you do speak commercial as well. There is definitely an angle on that as well, and you have an idea of where to go out, and we share that and we talk about it. And I think that is very important in these processes, that it's not only one side. And you even also talk to me about technical things, even though that I don't know much about it, but then I have the consumer's eyes on it, how it could work. I think altogether that adds up in a good product, and a good angle how we could bring this to the market and actually make it a really valuable product to the world.
So Bhushan,
This one, yes. Sorry, I thought
it's okay. We can shake and then we can continue. This trophy,
Yes.
the PRIS.
Yes.
So, are you excited for the finals?
I am super duper excited, actually. Yeah. I have never won a competition in my life, so this is the first time. I have never been a finalist in any competition, so this is the first time I'm into the finals as well. Yeah. And I'm more nervous than excited, but everything is kind of mixed. Yeah. But I have Torben, who is helping me with everything as well.
So okay. Thank you, Torben, for being here today. Thank you, Bhushan, for being here today.
Thank you.
Og til jer derude, så vil jeg bare sige, følg med her på vores sociale medier. Der kommer flere podcast med finalisterne her i de nærmeste dage. Kan I have det godt derude. Hej.